Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Crochet for Baby. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this hat for adults using the herringbone stitch. This is a super easy stitch. It's got lots of texture and perfect for making hats for men as well. This is what it looks like. There is no stitch multiple to follow, so you can make this hat for any size, any age. Down here in the information box, I'm going to leave you standard measurements for the head circumference and height of your hat, so be sure to check that out. Okay, so I hope you like it, and without further say, let's get started, and thank you for watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 5mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this medium number 4 yarn. I'm using yarn B, soft and slick. This is a medium number 4 yarn. I'm going to use two colors. I'm using this light gray, and I'm also going to use a soft pink. Okay, so here to begin, I have 11 chains. Into the second chain from the hook, this one here, I'm going to make a single crochet. Single crochet into the next chain, and single crochet into the next chain, and so on. For this row, this is all we're going to do. One single crochet on each one of the chains. Okay, that's 8, 9, 10 single crochets. Okay, you should have 10 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now turn, chain 1. Into the first single crochet, we're going to make a single crochet, and on each one of these single crochets. But we're only going to go through the back loop, so you're going to insert your hook through the back loop and make your single crochet. Again, into the next stitch, make a single crochet, and so on. That's 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
and 10. Turn, chain 1. This is how you're going to continue from here on. You're just going to make single crochets into each one of the single crochets, and make sure you only go through the back loop. We're going to do this for about 72 rows. I'm making this hat for an adult, so 72 rows for me measures about 21 inches, which is about 53 centimeters. Okay, I'm here at the end, so again, turn, chain 1, and repeat. Okay, so continue for 72 rows. I already have mine ready. Here it is. I did 72 rows, and it's measuring 21 inches, which is about 53 centimeters. Now, make sure that you stretch your brim like this and then measure it, because this type of brim is very stretchy. If you're making this hat for any other size, down here in the information box, I'm going to leave you some standard measurements like the head circumference and the height based on age, so be sure to check that out. There is no stitch multiple with the stitch that I'm going to make this hat with, so you can have any number of rows. Okay, so here, what we're going to do is we're going to join both ends like this. So to do that, I'm going to insert my hook here into this first stitch. I'm going to grab this loop, bring it through the front, chain 1, and then go back into the same stitch and into the first single crochet back here and make a slip stitch. Insert your hook into the next stitch here and into the second single crochet back here and make a slip stitch. This is how I'm going to continue and close these two ends here, or join these two ends here. So continue like this, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. I finished joining both ends and this is what it looks like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain one. I already did. Now we're going to open this like this. And here what we're going to do are single crochets along the top here. We're going to make one single crochet for each row that we made. So we did 72 rows, so we're going to have 72 single crochets. So beginning into this first stitch right there, insert your hook and make a single crochet. Then on top of the next, make a single crochet into the next row, and so on. This is how I'm going to continue for this row. So at the end, I'm going to have 72 single crochets. I'll meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row of single crochets. I have a total of 72 single crochets. I've cut my yarn, so to finish this row, go to the top of the first single crochet, grab a loop, and join with a slip stitch. Now here, what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce this pink color, so grab a loop, bring it through the front like this, and now pull on this gray color so that this stitch here closes. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over, then insert your hook into the same stitch we did the slip stitch, grab a loop. I have 3 loops on the hook, remove 1 loop, 2 loops left, close. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, grab a loop, take 1 loop off, close. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, take 1 loop off, close. Yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, take 1 loop off, 2 loops, close. Yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, take 1 loop off, close. This is how I'm going to continue for this first row. Now this stitch is the herringbone stitch and it's worked in a continuous round. So I'm going to continue like this for this first row, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. I have 72 stitches. Now here, to continue, what we're going to do is we're not going to join here to the beginning, but rather we're just going to continue in the same way with our pattern stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch here, grab a loop, take 1 loop off, 2 loops on the hook, close. And now into the next stitch, you're going to do the same thing like this. We're just going to now work in a continuous round, just like this. Okay, so continue like this. Once you get here, you're just going to continue in the same way. There's no need to stop or anything. We're just going to work in a continuous round from here on. I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, but I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 11th row of our pattern stitch. We started here, so that's row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and it's measuring. It's about 6 inches, which is about 15.5 centimeters. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start reducing. I like to start reducing when I only have about 1.5 inches to 2 inches left from my total height. This is an adult hat, so it should be between 8 and 8.5 inches depending on the stitch. So here what I'm going to do is to start reducing, I'm going to stop using this 5mm crochet hook and I'm going to grab this 4mm. So we're going to go down a hook size. And here we're just going to do the exact same thing for about 2 inches. I'm not sure how many rows that is going to be. So continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. One thing, make sure to put a stitch marker, that way we know how many rows I'm going to do. Right there. Okay, I did a total of 5 rows using this 4mm crochet hook. So this is where we started. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in total I have 16 rows and it's measuring. It measures about 7.25 inches, which is about almost 19 centimeters. Okay, so here what we're going to do is with this same hook we're going to now work some stitch reductions. So here you're going to yarn over, and into these next 2 stitches you're going to do the following. Insert your hook, grab a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook. Insert your hook into the next stitch, grab a loop. We have 4 loops on the hook. Now this loop that I just pulled, I'm going to pass 2 stitches. I have 2 loops on the hook, grab a loop, close. This is how we're going to work the stitch reduction. So into the next stitch, just work a normal stitch. Now into the next two, again, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, 4 loops in the hook. This loop that I pulled, take 2 loops off, close. Again, into the next stitch, work a normal stitch. Into the next two, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, 4 loops in the hook. This loop that I pulled, take 2 loops off, close. Continue like this. I'll meet you at the end of this row right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row of reductions. This last stitch here is just a normal stitch, so into the next two I'm going to work my stitch reduction. So yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, 4 loops in the hook. This loop that I pulled, take 2 loops off, close. Okay, again, yarn over, into the next two we're going to do the same thing. Grab a loop, into the next, grab a loop, this loop, take 2 loops off, close. Again, yarn over, into the next 2 stitches, insert your hook, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, close. Yarn over, into the next 2, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, close. Continue like this all around. I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row of reductions. Now we're going to continue along and do the same thing that we did in this last row. This hole here is a bit too big, so we're going to reduce it a bit further in the same way that we just worked this last row. So continue like that and I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this last row. I continued a bit and I have 10 stitches all around. If you have less or more, it's okay. Here we're just going to go into the next stitch right here and join with a slip stitch right there. Now I've cut my yarn, so I'm just going to pull this loop here and tie a knot like this. Now we're going to turn this. This is the right side, although this stitch here is reversible. That's what it looks like from the other side. I think this stitch is perfect for making men's hats. Okay, so here we're just going to weave this yarn around. So here, I think this is not a stitch here, so I'm going to pull this stitch here. So that's the last stitch. Okay, so here we're just going to pull and close that hole right there. Now with this loop that we left, we're going to tie a knot here, and our hat is done. Now we're going to turn this, and that's what it looks like from the top. Right there. And here's the hat. That's what it looks like. Now I'm going to add a pom-pom to my hat, so I'll come back and show you what that looks like once it's done. Okay, so here's my finished hat. I added a pom-pom. I'll leave a link down here in the information box on how I make my pom-poms. So this has been today's tutorial. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.